Hold up.
Yo, what's going on, guys? It is Fox298 here, and welcome back to a brand new video if you guys stay tuned on my channel. Today we are back with my F1 2016 Career Mode Season 5 Part 7 here for the Canadian Grand Prix. Hope you guys are having an awesome day, and we're going to kick things off with some Career Mode on the weekend before we've got Sub-Championship tomorrow, so don't forget about that, guys, and I'll explain that in a little second. But as you can see, we fitted an engine upgrade and also a drag upgrade to the car, so doing 2 upgrades after we didn't do an upgrade for the past 3 races, and I'll probably be continuing to go on that theme of doing an upgrade every so often, because it seems like I'm a bit quick at the moment. Not gonna brag or anything, but I'm just quite fast. But anyway, guys, if you do enjoy today's video, drop a like on it, that'd be absolutely awesome. Subscribe if you are new around here as well. And yeah, without further ado, let's get into this. So now we are up into second in the vehicle performance comparison chart, but we're still a long way off Mercedes-Benz, which is very interesting to note. So we definitely need to keep Mercedes on a watch at the moment because they're still in a good position at the moment. In terms of the driver's standings, we're actually quite far in front, and Mercedes, despite the fact of having the fastest car on the grid, are not getting those race pace and their results their way. So let's start talking into things. Now, I can't remember what the comment was, but whoever who said the comment, you know exactly who you are. But he said to do an upgrade every 2 or 3 races and only do 1 upgrade every 2 or 3 races. Otherwise, it's just going to get a little bit easier. And having a look at the race results at the moment, I kind of agree with that. Now, I did make an upgrade at the end of this race. I know that for sure. But that was probably fuel efficiency, I think it was. I'll probably be making upgrades to fuel efficiency, but in terms of the big ones like drag, engine, chassis weight, all that stuff, I'm going to be doing those over a serious chunk of time. So I'm not going to be making a proper big upgrade now until the British Grand Prix, then another one at the Belgian Grand Prix, and then another one maybe at the Malaysian Grand Prix or even the Japanese Grand Prix, and then so forth like that. So hopefully that makes things a little bit easier or better in terms of competitive racing, and we can see how we go from that. And then finally, of course, Subscriber Championship is returning again tomorrow, so get ready, guys, at 6 PM UK time for the Grand Prix that is still a mystery, although there has been someone that may have guessed it, and it's pretty interesting, I'll say the least. But as you can see, then we actually got a brand new rival for our career mode. And that's going to be Max Verstappen. I believe we beat Lewis Hamilton, if I remember. And of course, with Verstappen actually doing really well and second in the championship, Max Verstappen is my closest rival in all of this. But yeah, don't forget, guys, that we will be racing in Sub-Championship tomorrow. So get ready to do that, to get ready to just be there. 6 PM UK time tomorrow, where we'll be racing around the mystery track, and you'll finally see what it is. And you can stop asking me what track it is, because I'm still not going to tell you, because I'm horrible. So yeah, deal with it. So anyway, as you can see then, we are racing around the circuit, and we're on to our first qualifying lap, which was actually a pretty decent lap on the ultra soft tyres. It was not bad. My teammate Bottas qualified down there in 10th place, I believe. He was on a set of the super soft tyres though in Q1, which is a bit of a strange one. But we're going to go with that nonetheless. Into Q2 we go then. Rosberg currently is in the lead as we bounce over the curbs there. A little bit too much curb on the second part of the chicane there, but we were lucky not to hit the wall of champions, staying far over to the right to give us the quickest run towards the start-finish line, and that is going to be a very solid lap indeed, and that gets us the fastest lap in Q2, making me feel really confident about myself. But Daniel Ricciardo is starting on the super soft tyres for this Canadian Grand Prix, which is an interesting note. Into Q3 we go. We're doing a lot better. A little bit too much curb again on the second part of the chicane, but not as much as last time. Again, staying to the right to get the fastest run to the start-finish line, and that is going to be pole position. But will anyone else beat our lap time, or are we going to get pole position for this Grand Prix and secure another one? And that is indeed the actual case, and we managed to get pole position, mainly because of the final sector. The AIs were definitely matching me in the first and middle sector, but I was able to nail the final sector. And the biggest time, if you're looking to try and gain time against the AIs in the Canadian Grand Prix, is in the final chicane. If you get that right, you'll gain instantly a 2/10 on the AIs, and stick to the right when you're going towards that finish straight, like I was doing, and you'll get a perfect lap time. But there's the results points coming in for you guys, and or for me anyway, not for you. These are for me. And these are resource points that we can use for the Canadian Grand Prix. And in terms of the rivalry, a perfect start to against Max Verstappen, but he actually got the fastest first sector, sorry. Without further ado, guys, let's get into the main event, which is the race for the Canadian Grand Prix.
With that then, let's run through the grid order. It's Williams in pole position then, and it's Lewis Hamilton alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Ricciardo, Verstappen, Nico Rosberg, and Bottas, Vettel, Button, Raikkonen and Fernando Alonso, Perez, Hülkenberg, Romain Grosjean and Gutierrez, Kvyat, Sainz, Rio Haryanto and Kevin Magnussen, Palmer and Ericsson, Felipe Nasser and Pascal Wehrlein completes the grid. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
Alright then guys, as you can see we are here on the grid for the Canadian Grand Prix, and we're going to be doing the one-stop strategy as you always do around Canada, which is going to be starting on the ultra soft tyres and then moving to a set of the soft tyres to take us all the way to the end of the race, which will be very good indeed. So as you can see then, we're going to be getting ourselves ready to get up and racing here, with Daniel Ricciardo being the dark horse in this, starting on a set of super soft tyres. So it's very, very unknown in terms of what Daniel has got planned on this strategy, but we're going to have to find out. But anyway, as you can see here, we're on the grid. We've got 5 red lights here for the Canadian Grand Prix, and it is lights out. There we go for the Canadian Grand Prix. It's a good start from us. It's a horrific start for Hamilton though. He has lost out to Daniel Ricciardo, but we have had a super start out front, and we are well up into the lead. Into turn 1 and 2 we go. Hamilton's lost out to Daniel Ricciardo, and that's massive because Ricciardo's on a set of super soft tyres, remember. As you can see, we're now going to be charging through here, through the set chicanes, and Ricciardo gets the move done. Verstappen was alongside Hamilton, but he didn't quite manage to get that move stick on Lewis Hamilton. But as you can see, flying through now here in this first sector, Lewis Hamilton has lost out badly at the start of this race, and now he's got to negotiate Daniel Ricciardo in the slower Red Bull and on the set of super soft tyres. Meanwhile, myself has had a stunning start, and we can now pull away into the distance here on lap 1 of this Canadian Grand Prix as we make our way through the chicanes there. Nice and easy there. Bit of a corner cut, but we don't care because these stewards didn't warn us for it, so we can keep on doing it. On to lap 3 of the Grand Prix now, and Kevin Magnussen is out of the Canadian Grand Prix, which is a real shame. We're going to find out why here. So Kevin's actually attacking one of the Haas drivers and goes straight into the... Okay, what the hell happened here? I need to stop it. It's alright. So Magnussen's got the slipstream here on one of the Haas drivers. He goes for the overtake and then sort of just wipes him out and wipes himself out. That's Magnussen's fault. 100%. Riding on board here, I believe this is Romain Grosjean. So Grosjean, yeah, Magnussen just tries to make the overtake and then goes straight into Grosjean. Grosjean's lost his front wing and all of that, and he's just stopped on the track. On to lap 8 of the Grand Prix now. We've got yellow flags behind us, and that's Lewis Hamilton. Hamilton is out of the race, so my biggest rival really in this Grand Prix is out of the race. So Hamilton's battling hard with Ricciardo here, and as they come for the chicane, Hamilton's gone wide here and goes straight into the wall. What is Hamilton doing? All he had to do was lift off there, but he kept on going, and it's gone straight into the wall. On to lap 11 of the Grand Prix now, and things are going all to plan for me in this race so far. We're going to be making our one and only pit stop onto a set of the soft tyres, and we're going to be taking those to the end of the race. But there's not been a lot of action at the start of this Grand Prix, apart from the fact that the retirement from Lewis Hamilton is a massive one, because Hamilton was a lot faster than Daniel Ricciardo, but it was the fact that Ricciardo was getting the slipstream of the DRS to re-overtake Hamilton, which was costing Hamilton time to me. But in theory, if Hamilton managed to clear Ricciardo from DRS threat, Hamilton would be right over me, and we would probably have to scrap and defend for our life against Hamilton. But we've not got to do that anymore because Hamilton's crashed out. And this corner here that we're coming up to now, he just went wide and hit this wall right here. And we show Hamilton how to just drive around the track normally, really. But anyway, we're now in 3rd place, but we've got Bottas in front of us, and we've got Daniel Ricciardo in front of us. But the most likelihood is, of course, well, the most likelihood is, it means, you know, we are definitely going to be staying in front of them because they've got to make their pit stops, and we're going to be getting a nice undercut on the pair of them. Although Ricciardo is on super soft tyres, so it's interesting to see how much longer he goes on the track. Meanwhile, whilst we were actually in the pits making our pit stop, Max Verstappen retired from the Canadian Grand Prix, and Max Verstappen is 2nd in the championship. So our championship rival Verstappen had an engine blowout whilst we were in the pits, which is shocking. So everyone, all the big names are retiring. On to lap 27 of the race, and Gutierrez is now out of the race. So it's not a case of action in terms of overtakes, it's a case of everyone's just blowing up in this Grand Prix. Gutierrez is the next person to retire from the Grand Prix, and that's Ripperoni and Pepperoni for Esteban Gutierrez. On to lap 29 of the Grand Prix, and we're still maintaining our gap, and now Vettel is out of the race. So we've lost Hamilton, we've lost Verstappen, and we've lost Vettel. And Vettel's already going quite slowly, actually. So there was, well, that happened. I'm going to have to take a replay from a different angle, because the camera angle, the broadcast view, was terrible. So Vettel's got a puncture on the front right, and then Raikkonen goes through him, and then Jensen just takes him right up the bum. No consent there from Sebastian. But that's the 2nd race in a row now that Vettel's suffered from a puncture In Monaco, Vettel had a puncture, and then he took out one of the Renaults. In this race, he's got a puncture, and he's been absolutely molested by Jensen. So I feel bad for Vettel, really. He's had 2 punctures in 2 Grand Prix, and that's going to leave him pointless. On to lap 31 of the Grand Prix now, and I've been holding my own for this entire Grand Prix, and I've been basically having a really easy race. But now Daniel Ricciardo has been closing up on me ever so slightly, and now onto lap 31, he's finally reduced the gap and is able to mount a charge on my lead in this Canadian Grand Prix. And after I've been leading it for 31 laps, I kind of don't want to lose it now. So as you can see here with the DRS, Daniel Ricciardo is going to pull over to the outside line, for the chicane. But we've actually got a lot of straight line speed here. We are going to fend off Ricciardo quite nicely here. But in the chicane, Ricciardo gets a tremendous exit off the chicane, and he's actually going to have a second blast of DRS here. Ricciardo goes straight for the outside line for turn 1, and as you can see, we go side by side with Ricciardo down the inside of Daniel, and we are going to make that move stick and defend from Ricciardo very nicely indeed. But Ricciardo looking like an immediate threat in this Canadian Grand Prix. He's all over the back of us here as we come in towards this chicane now of 3 and 4. Will he make a move? Nope, too far back to make a move there for Daniel. Onto lap 32, further on onto lap 32, we're coming towards the DRS range now, where Daniel is going to have another chance to attack us here as we make our way into the hairpin now. Ricciardo right behind us. He's obviously going to wait patiently for the DRS to come flying around before Daniel makes any sort of move, because that's kind of what he's going to be doing here, because that's his only form of attack, really. And as you can see, he's much closer to us now in the slipstream, and he pulls out this time. Ricciardo has got a definite better run this time towards the chicane. Will Ricciardo make this move stick down the inside? We're going to defend quite nicely from Ricciardo, and Ricciardo makes the mess of the chicane. We've actually built ourselves a nice comfortable gap to Ricciardo straight off the bat of that mistake on lap 33 here of this Canadian Grand Prix. So Ricciardo, with that small mistake, has to sit back and wait a little bit longer, but he has not got much time. On to lap 33 of the Grand Prix, Ricciardo pulled all that back in this Grand Prix, and we come flying towards the hairpin here, and Ricciardo is still right behind us as we try and just get that position defended from Ricciardo. But we're going to stay with it now, as Ricciardo is going to stay in our slipstream here towards the DRS zone, which goes now, and Ricciardo's blast of DRS is open, and this time he's actually got a very nice run on us. It's actually better probably than his previous run on 32. But as you can see here, into the chicane we go. We defend that nicely. We actually hit too much of the curb, and Ricciardo once again, just like his first attack, got a super run out of the exit of the corner here. Ricciardo is going to pull over out of our slipstream and attack into turn 1. Can he make it stick round the outside of turn 1 to give him the inside into turn 2, which you can clearly see he has not. So we're doing everything we can right now to fend off Ricciardo, and we're doing a very good job of it here. Our tyre wear is getting quite heavy now in this Grand Prix. Ricciardo did stay out that lap longer than myself, so he's going to have very, very slightly fresher tyres on this stint. Onto lap 34 of the Grand Prix now, and we're still defending from Ricciardo here. And as you can see, we have changed to the broadcasting view as we look towards trying to defend from Ricciardo, but he's actually got a much better run this time. The best run he's had so far, and he goes flying through, goes Daniel Ricciardo, but I'm not going to sit here and let him take that one back. I'm going to come straight back up the inside and fend off Ricciardo, and we do just that, and we are back into the lead of the Canadian Grand Prix, and we put our car into standard fuel mixture, I believe, as we look to try and save that bit of fuel so we can basically just use it all on the final back straight. But we're here on the last lap of the Grand Prix. We're actually in lean fuel mixture, so we're saving all of our fuel now for this for the final sector, really. Corner cut, doesn't matter. And as you can see here, we're carrying onwards, and just like I said in Monaco, just ignore the corner cuts. It's like ignoring the blue flag, just ignore the corner cuts as well. It's easy. As you can see here, into the end of the first sector we go, and Ricciardo is still right behind us. We're going to put the car into standard fuel mixture, because this is where Ricciardo can be quite quick, and he's actually going to have a little look here. He's sort of peeking alongside. He's there ever so slightly on my left-hand side, but we are going to defend from Ricciardo quite nicely there, and once again, just making sure that we use every inch of the track, maybe a bit more. But as you can see, we're trying our hardest to defend from Ricciardo down the inside into this hairpin. Now, we actually lock up a little bit, but we're okay for the time being, and we're going to put the car straight into rich fuel mixture when we come out of this corner, unless I do forget. Nope, we're already in rich fuel mixture, never mind. And as you can see here, Ricciardo is going to try everything. We're going to go straight for that immediate defensive inside line maneuver. Ricciardo looking in our slipstream, just looking, trying to find a way past, but he's not actually close enough on this lap to make a move. Into the chicane we go, we bounce over it, and we're going to actually come across here. Ricciardo with the DRS active, we are going to come through and win the Canadian Grand Prix here in Canada. The same old thing, but a very close ending between myself and Daniel Ricciardo. But wow, that was a tough ending for myself. I had to defend pretty hard there from Daniel Ricciardo. But guys, that is going to wrap it up for what was really quite a quiet Canadian Grand Prix, actually. As you can see, we managed to take the win here, which was a stunning result for myself. But overall in the Grand Prix, it was a very simple Grand Prix. I got pole position, got the perfect start off the start line. Ricciardo held up Hamilton. I had the advantage over Ricciardo in the first stint because he was on the slower compound. In the middle stint, Ricciardo was quicker than me, but throughout the lap, he was gaining about 3 tenths a lap. Maybe even I was actually extending my gap sometimes throughout the lap. And then eventually, when we got towards the back end of the race, trying to get the back markers out the way, Ricciardo then closed up quite considerably, and he was able to use the DRS to get past the back markers, whereas I had to overtake them in the middle sector. And Ricciardo used that to his advantage. And then as soon as he got into that 1 second DRS zone of me, he was able to then really mount a challenge towards the end of the race. But I was more than prepared for the challenge. I was preparing to fend off the Mercedes drivers, but they weren't anywhere to be seen. So that is it going to be it, guys, for this Canadian Grand Prix. As you can see, there is the full classification to show that the victory is ours, and a lot of DNFs and a lot of big ones too in this Canadian Grand Prix. So huge amount of DNFs there. And as you can see, Bottas claiming 4th, which is a strong result for him as well. For any of those that are questioning that I'm playing on like expert and I'm scared to show my difficulty, number 1, I'm not. Number 2, this is ultimate. And number 3, I've shown it right here. So trying to put that debate out the window. Always played on ultimate, never changed it ever since my Red Bull career mode. For those that are questioning, I know there's a lot of new people, so if you're new to my channel, welcome. I play on ultimate. I've played on ultimate since season 3 of my career mode. Season 2 and season 1 were played on legend because I was learning the game, and then ever since I changed my Red Bull career mode, I changed to ultimate AI, and I've never changed it since. And there's proof right there on the screen that I still play on ultimate, and I haven't changed it since. So that's that out the window. Moving on. You can see that we win the race quite comfortably. And here are the resource points coming in quite nicely. And that is going to be us done for the Canadian Grand Prix. And the rivalry with Verstappen, we're going to keep on getting quicker. And that is us done and dusted for this Grand Prix. So that's... Oh, hello, Emma. Ooh, she's got a contract event for us. What's she going to do here?
Oh, Emma, what are you going to give us? You're going to give me a contract? Can I have an invite, please?
So as you can see here, we're going to have a special contract promotion, in fact. So we have been promoted to the first driver for this career mode, which is absolutely stunning. So we have now overtaken Bottas as first driver in Williams, and that's come quite quickly here, actually. And I decided to do a little celebrate, a little bit of a wiggle there, because I just got
invited to be first driver.
So as you can see, that is us done for this career mode, and we do make an upgrade to fuel efficiency. I'll see you guys for the next race. Take care all. Thanks for watching. Peace.